Hey guys, Justa guy here with a new series of Sky Factory 4. SevTech hasn't been updated in over a year, and I got kind of frustrated with all the bugs, and like it just seemed incomplete once you got to the end game. So this looks awesome. It's still being updated, and I liked it. Oops, delete that. That was a mistake. First recording failed, so yeah. So we're gonna try creating a new world. You have a lot of options. You have the standard little tree in the void. You have random chaos, I guess, blocks just everywhere. You have little compact rooms. You have default worlds, but with just no ores like iron ore or redstone or anything generated. You have this really awesome city one I like, but it kind of made things easier because you have a big wide space to work in, and you have tons of resources that are already around to use to build the cities. The downside of the bigger areas, though, is mobs can spawn everywhere. I liked this one. Oops, that one. The lava one. It's a complete world filled with lava, except for this like 16 by 16 or so glass box. But instead of void, you have to work with lava, which means you have to expand. You have to slowly take out the lava, and until you have access to a diamond pickaxe, you can't even just turn it to obsidian with water easily. But we're gonna enable prestige. That's sort of the advancement system of this mod pack. So you can do, you can't do things until you've done other things. And let's call this Hot Pocket. We're going to allow cheats just because I like to use the camera count type of things. Plus, I would always recommend cheats if you're using a mod pack. Obviously, I wouldn't recommend using them because that's just cheating. But you never know if it's going to crash or glitch out, or like a recipe won't work, so you're completely stalled. And you'd have to wait around for them to update it, hopefully. But like, say when I first loaded this up the first time, dirt didn't work as a recipe. I eventually just deleted the mod pack and reinstalled it and it worked. But like if you get like far into the advancement of a mod pack and finally find out that something doesn't work, you'd be completely screwed without cheats, So I always recommend it. You never know when you're going to respawn into an endless death loop or something like that because, your bed's messed up. Alright, so here we are. Here's our little world and the very, very eye-catching text they put up there. You got your advancement book. You don't actually need this because you can always just push P by default, but whatever key you put it to. This is the standard one. You have all these these trees from, I don't know what, cyclic I think it is, to give you resources as an advancement method. Then you have all this, and you have to get everything on this page done to get 1 prestige point. And then there's various pages for various things. Most of these other ones are much more complicated. They take tons of resources and tons of different advancements. These are all related, and they're sort of like a, pardon the pun, tree of advancement through trees. And then you got the little ones up here, like just build a crook and have a half slab, get 8 saplings and 8 logs. But, oops, what button did I push? Oh, there we go. It's lagging a little bit. So we got a torch, the advancement book, a piece of bacon, a donut, and a builder's wand, which is really just a stick. They just sort of cheesing you. To start off with, you need wood, obviously, to get a crafting table. That was weird. Ghost block time. Okay, so we want 2 pieces of wood. Oops, we don't want that many sticks. We need some sticks. Come on. There we go. Crafting table. And then just for an advancement, it's not... Actually, yeah. Just for an advancement. Actually, no, we don't. We want to make... Give me that. We'll make an axe. I'm too lazy. Oh, we need 3. I forgot about that. For some reason I thought it was 2. Oh well. So I guess we need another piece of wood. I forgot how to make an axe, guys. I'm so special. All I could make was a hoe. Okay, so we have a wooden axe for now. I would highly suggest getting to something called a paxel as soon as possible. It's a combination of an axe. I don't actually have enough just yet. a wooden pickaxe, and a shovel. You get that for all the various tool types until you get to Tinker's tools, because the durability of these is much higher, 88, right, compared to 59, which when you're hacking trees with a wooden axe, you'll notice it does break pretty easily and quickly. So what you want to do is break all these trees, but you also want to quickly make a crook. Not only is it an advancement, but you get more like acorns and saplings if you break leaves with a crook than letting them decay or break them with your fist or something. And all these tools can be repaired by the resources, just sort of like in most vanilla. So wooden planks or sticks or whatever it's made out of. Like one wooden plank completely repairs the crook, and it takes like 3 to repair the axe. Which is why I said get the pack as soon as you can, because you'll find you need to more durability so it doesn't break every tree. As you can see, we got quite a few saplings. If you're very unlucky or you don't use the crook, you might not get enough to actually advance. And if you do this, what I'm doing right now, crouch spam, every time you go down or every time you go up, little particles go off, and it's quite a far distance to grow trees quicker. It doesn't actually cover anything else. No other type of plants grow faster from, you know, crouching. You can't quick grow carrots or anything, but trees, it's good. So there we go. I'm gonna have to break a few of these and I'll get right back to you guys. Alright guys, so I got a couple of these and I'm going to explain how these sort of work. So with these acorns and resin you get resin from the logs and acorns from the leaves. If you click on any of them and put uses, which is U by default I think, it'll tell you the recipes you can use them with. So obviously you can make some pig seeds and stuff like that if you had carrots and all that stuff. But you can also make dirt amber, which is used for a specific thing later, but it also functions as dirt for almost everything that needs dirt. Or you can do this, which takes 4 acorns and 5 resin to make 1 dirt block. So we'll do that once just to get the advancement, if there is one. Yeah. And then the other thing you need to look at is how to get to the next one. So if you go to uses again, yeah, oops, there we go. Usually it's the acorns. So if you go to uses, right, you'll see that you can make dirt saplings out of an oak sapling, but what we want is way over here, petrified acorns. You can put them on a drying rack to make a petrified acorn, and that's basically how a lot of this early mod pack works. You go to your advancements, you see what tree you need next, petrified sapling, and then you would go to the search thing and go petrified, and then you go for the sapling, and you find the recipe for it, which is a dirt sapling and 8 petrified saplings around it. So we got to make some drying racks. Oops, don't have enough planks. There we go. Come on. So we need quite a few of these. We'll say 4. And then what we're also going to do, oops, I don't want that many planks. We're also going to make some wooden hoppers, because they actually have them. Which I always think is something that almost needs to be in the vanilla game. Now we probably don't have enough wood. Yeah. I did not think this through. Okay, well, I'm going to get some more resources and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back and I found something out. I don't know if it's vanilla or not. I actually forgot about it. But you can put 2 slabs on top of each other to turn them back into blanks. But also I forgot about this, you know, making this into a crafting station from Tinkercraft, which makes it connect to a chest, which makes everything much easier. We can put all of our saplings and resins and everything in there for crafting purposes. But let's go back to our hopper. Oops, don't want to be in the chest. There we go. The downside of this is that when that's over there, you lose this over here, which is the sort of save a recipe key. By default, I think it's A. If you push A on there, it'll add it over here, so you can save things. And if you push A again, it goes away. But you lose that if you're connected to a chest like this, so whatever. Let's make 2 of these. Then let's make our drying racks as well, which is just like that, right? Oh, did I already make them? Thought I did. Well, if I did, I don't know what I did with them. So we got some drying racks. What we're going to do is put them on our wall. A little lower. I do have my Paxel, by the way. It's nice to not have to repair something every single time you build something. So let's do this. Put a chest down here. Oh, we use all of our chest, obviously. Oh, let's just cheat. Use this thing. I don't have enough blocks for that. I don't have enough of anything. There we go. To go the old school way. We need to make at least 2. So we have 2 hoppers. Actually, we only have 1. Well, we only have enough for 1. Oh well. So, put our chest down. Put a hopper into the chest that's underneath the drying rack. Then we'll put a hopper into the drying rack from above. We can make it. There we go. And then we'll put a chest up there for the heck of it. Make things easier. Now we just need to put at least 8. We're going to do 16. Acorns in there, and it'll put it down here, and it takes about a minute. And it'll dry out, go down, and go into this chest automatically. I also put my other dirt block over here so I could do things a little faster, but yeah, I'm going to wait for this to finish, guys. I'm actually not going to be using these other ones, I guess. And just I'll cut down some more trees. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. This is almost done. I just also want to talk to you about something about my little world here. I have a nice, safe, sort of 16 by 16 area, well lit and everything because of the lava. But I don't have to worry about the glass. So when you're mining, you always want to look up because it's further than 5 blocks away. And then if you're at the wall, you want to look away from the wall when you're mining. You never want to mine towards the wall because if you break a piece of glass this early in the game, you're kind of in trouble because you can't really replace it. The only non-burntable block you have is dirt, and everything else you make is made out of wood. So yeah, be careful. So I did another one because it's taking forever. You can actually just put them on there manually and then take them off manually, but I don't know. I just like the hoppers because there's also a couple things that take this. I made one extra. Whatever. So you come over here, you use these petrified acorns, and you have a recipe. Obviously, you can make cobblestone with these things. You can make marble. Actually, I didn't know, but the advanced thing is the tree. So you want to do this. Actually, I want to do 2 of them. So we got our advancement. Oops. And obviously, you follow pretty much the same thing for sand. You make a sand acorn, put the petrified in the middle, and you get and gravel. Where is this? I guess I have to go R for recipes instead. Yeah. Instead of uses, you want recipes. There we go. 2 of these. So we're going to get rid of these. Put our petrified saplings down, and then twerk. One thing I also like to mention is when you're harvesting, you can mine while you're twerking. So that's a good way to get going. So like, as long as you aim for the middle of the block, you can crouch spam while twerking. So you can grow the trees around you while you're mining this one. It's kind of important because this twerking system isn't instant grow like in some. So that's kind of a thing. But now we have petrified. Now the next one is a little bit more open-ended. You can get sand as you saw, you can get gravel as you saw. This is where I would start to suggest you pick a goal of what you want to get and look at what you need to get there. So if you go to this, cobble, create a cobblestone generator, and it would fill the slots of an LHS to get the advancement. So if you want to look at the cobblestone generator, oops, which for some reason is right there when I say hopper. Oh, whatever. You have the weakest version here, which 1 every 40 ticks, then it goes up. But these all take, you know, iron and blaze rods and emeralds. But this one is just 3 pieces of cobble on the block, on the bottom and top, a bucket of lava and a bucket of water and a piece of glass. But what we need is clay for the buckets, and then a piece of glass. So what we're going to look towards is obviously clay, because that also gives us bonsai pots, which is advancement, I thought. Or maybe it's just not on this page. So we're going to look at clay, sapling, and this just takes surprisingly petrified resin, dirt resin, and a dirt sapling, which is one of the odd ones. Most of them are like this, but there is no way to get clay acorns from crafting. If you push R on it, you get nothing. If you get uses, you just get stuff like that. So this one you have to make clay out of the resins, which is actually fine because it's easier. So we'll go over here, click this, and we should be able to get a clay tree. Now we're going to want more of these if we can. Take 2 just to speed this up, because we're going to need quite a few of these. So we got 1 of these. If you look at clay trees, they make clay acorns, which obviously, like usual, is 5 and 4 to make a clay block, which gives you 4 pieces of clay. And then the clay blocks can make bonsai pots, which lets you sort of automatically grow plants, right? Just 5 bricks. So what we need is also 8 pieces of cobblestone to make a furnace. So that's why we still got a petrified tree going, and we're going to be grinding away a little bit. So alright, and we're back, guys. Much grinding later. 700 blocks of leaves, 193 blocks of wood. We got it. So I didn't do just the 8. I did you need 14 to fully do the cobblestone generator, obviously, so I did that. So we got 16, and I'd highly recommend you don't waste any of your early cobblestone on upgrading your tools, because you get so little petrified acorns and resins out of these things that you'd be likely doing nothing but repairing your tools. So you want to wait until you have the cobblestone generator. So first we need the furnace, which is just the vanilla recipe of furnace. Don't accidentally make 2. That'd be very, very sad. Let's get rid of that so it doesn't happen. So let's just put this over here, I guess. Right? That's all good. Now we need clay. So, clay. And how many of these we got? 4, which each of these makes 4, so we got 16 clay. We need 6 for buckets, and that leaves us 10 for bricks, which is enough for 2 bonsai pots, actually. So we'll put that in there. We'll just throw some wood. You'll eventually have so many saplings and leaves and stuff that you could just use those if you really want to. So I don't know if actually 10 planks is enough for that. We'll put more in. So we want to do buckets, which is just 3 clay, like that. You have to do it before you cook it. You can't use 3 bricks. Yep, gives you a flower pot. Trust me, I've done that before. There we go. So we got 2 buckets. Now we got to cook them. Just going to interrupt this, but what can you do? From there, though, we need a crushing tub. That's the next thing. So if you look at how to get water. You can do a rain barrel, I guess, but we don't have rain, obviously. There's just water. There we go. So you can condensers, a cauldron, melt some ice, put a water bottle, and all that stuff. Not going to help us. Squeezer, we can't do. Melter, all this stuff. But if we scroll over, crushing tub, which is actually one of the advancements they tell you. So if you crush almost all plant, so you get water and something else sometimes. Sugar cane will give you that. There's a lot of recipes. Most of the saplings give you water. Most of the acorns give you sap. And the only real use of sap I find is to make torches. You toss a stick in there and you get a torch. Obviously I don't need torches really, but we'll work on that. So let's go crushing tub, which is just some planks and slabs and stuff, right? Yeah. Which I don't have slabs after I converted them all out. There we go. So we only need one. Probably won't use it too often. Put it down. I think, if I remember right, you can, at least in other mod packs, you can just do this. No. The toe collision or something is messed up. You used to be able to just walk across it to get to work. So what we're going to do is put a sapling in there. Put a lot of saplings. So we'll just jump up and down. You get some water, and it takes up the saplings. So we take our bucket to get the water. And we're actually going to use these to make an infinite water source. Over here, I guess, in the corner, we'll do a 4x4 just to be special. You get like 100 millibuckets per thing, so you need like 10, I think, to get 1 bucket of water. Now you can do water infinitely with these clay buckets, but the second you do lava or anything hot, it'll destroy itself after you one use. So the other thing about these crushing tubs is, obviously you can do an empty hand. Acorns as well, and you get sap. If you want to get rid of the liquid, you can either break it or you can hold shift and right click with an empty hand, which is so hard to do in modern Minecraft. And it empties it. So you can, if you start crushing acorns without emptying it, you'll still get your resources, but you won't get sap. So we got this. Now, lava is a little interesting. This is made in a cauldron. Now, you can make a cobblestone cauldron, which can hold lava. Or you can do wooden cauldron, which does all the watery stuff without being able to do the lava stuff. I am just going to make an oak cauldron, if I had enough oak. So many resource issues. Because obviously I have lava everywhere. I can skip that step. So I only need 14 cobblestone to get my cobblestone generator. Oops. You might need an additional 8 more or whatever. We'll make that over there. So this, I didn't put the clay back in, my bad, is enough for me. Otherwise you just need to put a cobblestone cauldron over some heat source, torches, lava, whatever, and it'll melt it instantly. You don't need to worry about the quality of it. So let's see, where's a good spot to make a hole? Guess we'll do it over here. Now this is very dangerous. Like I said, I don't have a lot of ways to close that back up. And everything of mine is made out of wood, so if you have anything within like a 5-block radius, it could catch fire. Which is not good. So now we need sand. We go over here, sand. Sapling? There we go. Sand saplings. Petrified, surrounded by sand acorns, right? Oops. Recipe uses? Recipe. There we go. crushing tub. Put a gravel acorn in there, right? And you get your sap. Now, how do you get a gravel acorn, you might ask? Well, you put a petrified acorn. So we're going to skip the gravel tree for now. We're just going to get gravel acorns and then... Ooh, do I have enough petrified things for this? I kind of used them all up, didn't I? Yes, I did. Well, I guess more grinding for me. Actually, let's make our bonsai tree. Bonsai pot first. And I'll show you how that works, so I don't have to grind quite so hard. Planting trees is still faster. These don't work so great. So we got our bonsai pots. Put them down here, I guess. You need to put them in dirt in them. You can also do grass, but you need access to leaves for that. And if you look at a bonsai pot recipe, the dirt gives you 110% growth speed, but 90% drop chance of items. Grass is just 100% flat, so is amber for whatever reason. So this grows a little faster, but you have a less chance of getting stuff. So you just put dirt in there, and then you right-click your sapling, and it'll start growing. It needs 2 blocks of height, no matter what tree you put in there. And then when it's done, you need to right-click on it with something that can harvest wood, so like an axe or a paxel. Unfortunately, you can't put a hopper underneath it and automate it. The prestige system of this thing locked hopper bonsais behind 1 prestige point. The first one, you have to pick hopper bonsais. And you can't just put a hopper underneath it like you can in a lot of mod packs to do it without being a hopper bonsai pot, because they didn't want you to cheese the system. So if you right click on it, it starts growing again and you get your resources. You get everything it can drop usually. So if you go to like a petrified sapling, we have a pretty good chance, 75% chance of getting some wood, 50% chance of acorns, 35 resin, leaves, and all that stuff. So as you can see, you have a pretty good chance of that. Resin's actually one of the lower ones, and saplings are only 5%. So if you need a sapling for like a new pot, you definitely want to just grow it. And resin, you obviously get one every single time that way. So I'll actually go over here, see if we got any leaves. No leaves. Oh, I was going to show you that before I cut off. Alright guys, that didn't take too long. These are actually pretty fast. So, these leaves, right? You get petrified leaves. If you go over here to our cauldron, you put some water in it. And then you put, we're going to have to steal this, a dirt block into it. You'll make it mud. Now if you go to, let's go mud, it's the easiest way. Click on the mud in a cauldron, right? What you can use this for? Well, you put a bunch of things in there and you get dirt saplings, obviously. But the other big one is this. Any leaves, you get grass. So, for 1 dirt block, you make enough mud to get 4 grass blocks. And then if you want, you can put a grass block down and break it to get a dirt block back. So, it's a much easier way to get dirt than ever using dirt acorns. I forgot to mention that earlier, but yeah, I would never spam the dirt acorns more than you have to. It just adds a lot of early grind when this is available. Did I get any more tree leaves? Because I want to finish that off. Yes. Oops. There we go. So we got a lot of we got some grass blocks, which we can put in our hopper bonsais over here in a second. But let's also make our sand acorns now. We got 20 of these. Probably don't need all 20. But as you can see, it turns like a yellowish brown. Got 7, 8. And that means we got an empty hand, which is always an issue. But now we want to put our gravel acorns in there because, like I said, I'm not too worried about the gravel tree just yet. Although the gravel tree is kind of unique. It's one of those trees. Why do I only have 7? Okay, there. That if you look at the gravel sapling, it actually drops something extra. Flint. The leaves drop flint when you break them, as well as the resin and the acorns, the acorns. And then obviously you have a chance of getting it in the bonsai pot. Very small chance, but it's there. And it's your easy access to flint without having to bust up a bunch of gravel. The bone meal tree does that, and I think the iron tree gives you a nugget every once in a while, or a coal tree gives you a nugget every once in a while. But yeah, so a couple of trees have an extra drop. So we're on our sand acorn, our sand sapling. There we go. So now, for your very first tree, it's putting it on a dirt block and manually doing it, because you get a bunch of saplings back, but you might not get one. I mean, it's a very small chance, especially if you don't use a crook. But so what you want to do is shift right click, or no, just right click a dirt block while it's still growing, and it'll take off the sapling you already have. Unfortunately, I can't find any way to remove the dirt. So if you want to put a new type of soil in, you have to just break the pot. Luckily, it is breakable. It doesn't get destroyed. It's not a clay thing that gets destroyed if you break it. You put dirt in there, and it'll grow slower, but have a better drop rate. Now, the problem with doing this method right here, I just did, is you'll remember bonsais have like very small chance of dropping a sapling. It's 5% on every tree I've seen. So while it is safe, you'll never lose your tree, and you'll get one eventually. It's very slow if you want to expand your system to multiple bonsai pots. So after I harvest this one, I'm going to put it in some dirt and do this manually a little bit and come back to you guys. So, alright guys, I grinded away some and got some stuff. So sand, make a sand block. I'm going to turn that into glass. Oops. And got these going. I'm using grass. I know the dirt's faster, but I don't know how the 90% drop rate affects things. Is it 90% less drops, or 90% less chance of drops, or 10% less chance of drops? The speed boost is obvious to see, but I want the drops, because you'll have like a bunch of row of these pots going, and you just come by every once in a while and harvest them, as opposed to sitting here waiting for it to grow. So that 10% boost is really minor until you get automation. And we got our glass. There we go. Let's just put some charcoal in there. There we go. So let's go Cobblestone Generator. Uses. Oh well. So that's one. There's like 3 pages of recipes, the one with the clay buckets on the last page. So you just do this, and we got it. Huh. I would have. Oh, the rest of the advancements to fill it up, a chest. So what we want to do is take our hopper, and we want a chest. I'll have 3 chests. Actually, I'll show you guys something that's really cool. There's a crate and a barrel. It's really simple. It's just 3 things and 3 things. It's almost like a storage drawer, but there's not quite as many options. But it's really awesome that you can break it without losing the inventory. So that's awesome. So you can move things around. So what we're going to do is this. Oops, I want that a little higher. Yeah, that's got to go down. Unfortunately, to break these, you have to hit it from the side. You can't break it from the front because that's where the interaction is. So what we want, storage thing down there, a hopper. Oops. As far as I know, the Cobblestone Generator defaults outputting to the up and the bottom afterwards. So what we want to do is put it here, and then put the chest up here for the advancement case. Because once this, I think it's a double chest, is full. Oh, just a vanilla chest. Okay, well, get rid of this. There we go. Huh. Awesome. And, you know, you don't actually have to have one up there. You could still fill it into here once it gets full. But this holds 4,100 items with no upgrades. And if you want to upgrade it, it's actually very simple. The lowest upgrade is just wood. Wooden chests, wooden planks. The next one up is tin, which is actually really simple once you get it. After that, it gets a little more complicated with diamonds and stuff like that. But the cool thing is if you do this... Wooden pressure plate, huh? Let's actually make 2. I want to show you this. I want 2. Let's go this one. There we go. Oh man, I hate when this happens. And then you can't just click the thing because it's always cycling between some chisel and bits version of planks. There we go. So if you click 2. So when you just take it and you right click on the device, it upgrades it. See, 8,196. You click it again, it upgrades it again. And you can basically fully upgrade these all with the slowest upgrades. It just takes way more. I don't think the cap matters. Like, there is a cap, but it doesn't matter what upgrade you use. It just increases it slowly. So this now holds 12,290 cobblestone. Yeah, all with just some wood. I think that's really, really awesome. And like I said, you can right click, or you can break it and pick it up and move it without losing the resources. And now is the time to upgrade all your stuff to stone. I'm going to let this stuff run and gather some resources, but this is going to be the end of this episode, guys. And next time we're going to tackle more advanced things, like how to break the system with item transfer pipes. But yeah, catch you guys later. Just a guy signing off. Bye.